my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Courtney and this is Creative on the Cheap, where I like to do budget-friendly DIYs and home decor. If you saw the thumbnail and the title of this video, you probably know this is something completely different. I just wanted to do some type of DIYs that just make people happy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ice cream makes everybody happy. Maybe not lactose intolerant people, but still the thought of, you know, old-fashioned soda shops and vintage and 50s. I just think it's so fun. So that's what inspired me for today's DIYs. Because for summer, I'm not gonna go the lemon, lime, watermelon route. This is the route I'm going. So I knew I needed to start making some DIYs for that. So I hope this just puts a smile on your face. It's a lighthearted DIYs. I really had fun making these. I mean, seriously, super fun. If you didn't know, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. I've been extremely active on Instagram, so I would love to interact with you guys over there. You can find me there at Creative on the Cheap. And yeah, the only other thing I can say is my next video coming up is something super duper special. Its goal is to make you smile and laugh. I hope it does that. So I'm excited for you guys to see it. So just know the next video that comes out has got a special twist to it. So without further ado, guys, let's get into these happy feel-good DIYs. For the first use your stash DIY, I'm gonna be making an ice cream themed felt garland. So I found this free printable on Pinterest. I will link it down below. And what I'm gonna do is just cut out one of the Popsicle templates, one of the ice cream cone templates, and then once I get those cut out, I'm going to lay it on top of my pieces of felt. I decided to use pink, mint green, and then I have a thicker tan felt. I have a ton of felt in my stash, luckily, so this is working out great. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out these pieces, and then I'll be ready to start assembling. It's time to start assembling our ice cream cones. So there are 3 ways that you can put all this together. The first way is the easiest way, which is to just go ahead and hot glue it. There is absolutely no shame in that game. Go for it if you want to. I liked the stitched look on this, so right now what I'm doing is I am showing you how to hand stitch it. It's just a straight stitch. You just go up and down around your pieces, and a basic straight stitch. That's all that is. The last option is obviously to sew it if you have a sewing machine. I do have a sewing machine. I can't find my power cord, so I went up and bribed my teenager to sew them for me, and she did. So that is what I ultimately ended up doing, but any of these 3 options will work to get the ice creams put together.
You're very skilled.
Thanks.
You should open up an Etsy shop.
I learned from
sewing.
my mom.
You learned from my mom.
I did.
Yes, we know. Well, apparently the fact that I took a sewing class in 5th grade means that I should know how to sew.
It does.
Yeah.
I decided I wanted to attach this just to a piece of twine, and the way I'm going to do it is taking some pieces of felt. I'm just going to cut some small little rectangles, and I'm going to hot glue those on the back and make kind of a little pocket. Really, I don't even know what to call it. Just a way for me to thread the twine through it, and that way these will hang nicely on the twine and they're not permanently attached to it. I can take them off if I decide or want to add other things to it in the future. So that's how I got it attached to my twine. Last step is just to thread my twine through my little ice creams and popsicles. I just put it on a yarn needle just to make it easier so that the twine didn't get all frayed. Pulled it through, very easy to do, and voila, it is all finished. For the next DIY, I'm going to be using this mason jar to make, it could be a straw holder, a utensil holder, it could act as a vase. And what I'll be doing is taking off the lid, and then I'm going to take some tan colored paint to kind of represent the cone of an ice cream cone, and I'm going to give it 2 good coats of paint. Once that's dry, I'm going to go in with some mint color paint, which is I want that to be my ice cream color, and I'm going to paint the top of the mason jar, kind of make it wavy and drippy to represent the ice cream. Now I knew I wanted to put some sprinkles on my jar, and to obtain that look, I'm going to be using some of my colored glue sticks. Luckily, I have a ton of these different colors. These are from Sherbonder. I will link down below. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut these in half because I don't need a full stick of that color and I don't want to waste the glue. So I don't have issues when I cut my glue sticks. So again, I am using a Sherbonder glue gun and Sherbonder glue sticks, so do take that into account. But once I get these all cut, then I'm going to go in and make some sprinkles by just going through and doing the different colors until it runs out. Now, if you don't have colored glue sticks, you could do a couple of different things. You could use polymer clay if you have that. If you have clear glue, then you could go onto a piece of wax paper and do some little sprinkle-like shaped pieces of glue. Go in, put some paint on them, and then just lightly tack those to your mason jar as well. You'll get the same look, or you could even use real sprinkles if you wanted to. Before we jump into the next DIY, I did want to say this is a collaboration with a bunch of wonderful YouTubers where we are all crafting with our stash. So when you're done watching this video, go and make sure you check out some of these other ladies and see what they are making. For the third DIY, I will be using this sign that I've had from Dollar Tree in my stash. And what I'm going to do is give it, well, first I'm going to take the twine off, and then I'm going to paint the front of it and the little spinning sign part with 3 coats of the Waverly chalk paint, and then let that dry. So what I realized in this next step was how glad that I hoard Dollar Tree stickers. I don't use stickers often, but man, was I super excited to have these. So for the open and closed, I'm going to use this sticker right here. Then for the words soda fountain, I'm going to use these kind of 3D stickers, but I didn't like the color, so I went ahead and decided to paint those red. And then I'm going to use a different sticker down at the bottom for the word shakes and malts. Once the open, closed, and soda fountain were attached to the board, I did sketch out a little arrow and decided I wanted to paint that yellow. And then I decided on the bottom to tape off a little rectangle and paint a turquoise rectangle. And then I'm going to paint some little pink accents on there, and that's where I'm going to put the word shakes and malts. One thing I do wish I had in my stash was some fairy lights, because I really wanted to drill some little holes on this arrow and poke the little white lights through, but I went ahead and just did these little white circles. I went in with the paint marker and did it, and then I wanted it a little bit brighter white, so I went back in with some Waverly chalk paint. The last step for this sign is to get it a way to stand up. So I had this paper towel holder from Dollar Tree, and what I'm doing is just cutting some stiff brown felt that I had, and I'm just going to hot glue down the sides of the brown felt and then just slip this over the holder. I'm using the stiff because that way it'll kind of hold the sign in place, and then that way my sign will stand straight up and my kids can hit the little sign and spin the open closed, because that's what they really want to do. This last DIY, I wanted to make a kind of tea towel type vibe, but this is actually a napkin that I got in a 4-pack for $1 from Marshall's in the Christmas clearance. And what I decided I wanted to do was to try to use my fabric markers, because I haven't really done anything with these Arteza fabric markers that were sent to me. And these are them right there, kind of on the right side. My first initial response is they are okay. I'm not completely in love with them right at the moment, but again, this is my first project using them. So what I decided to do was use this little ice cream cone mirror as a template, which I picked this up a while back because I knew I was doing ice cream theme for the summer. And I was gonna cover it with fabric, but at some point it breaks really easily. So if you get any of these, they break super easily. But I'm gonna set it down and then trace around it with my fabric markers and then go in and color it in with the fabric markers. After I did that, I really just didn't like the look of it. So then I grabbed my fabric paint and painted over the fabric markers with my fabric paint, which was also Arteza, and I liked that way better. So the fabric paint was awesome. These markers, still need to work with them a little bit to completely decide whether or not I like them. And there you have it, some super fun summer DIYs that you can do. You know the drill. Let me know which one of these is your favorite, along with what decor theme you plan on decorating for summer. We all have a bunch of time right now, so there's no reason why not to start working on some summer DIYs, something to look forward to. If you are new, I would love for you to stick around by hitting that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss any of my future DIYs. And just remember, guys, for the next video, super special. I hope you guys are doing well, hanging in there, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.
I turn around and wave to a kid